Hi, I'm Alex di Prima, and I'm the chef here at Bistro Amerigo. Origin story. So, 2006, I was starting CEGEP late in like the winter semester. I wasn't really like a big foodie. I mean, I grew up obviously Italian household. My mom's Sunday dinner, my grandmother's Sunday dinner was a big deal in the morning. Go to church, go to someone's house for lunch, or we're hosting. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Tony Bennett on the radio. Same old, same old. But I didn't really have like the itch to start cooking. And like my mom, my grandmothers, my grandfather on my mom's side, and my uncle, all just really good cooks. But again, no itch to do it. I took a job part time working at Worst at Les d'Anjou, which was a place that made sausage like sandwiches. We sold them too at like a deli counter. And there was, this is the part my wife's not gonna like. There was a girl that worked there who I kind of had the hots for, and kind of made me stupid at work. And I remember one day she asked me to go buy like salad for someone's sandwich, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I came back with a head of cabbage. That's like how much I just didn't know or didn't care. And I watched her cut it and give it to someone, and like she should have known better in retrospect. Now that I think about it, like 20 years later, and I watched that client eat that sandwich and make this like face. Yeah, and she basically called me an idiot, and my boss is like, yeah, maybe you should go home. I was like, okay. And I went home, and I went back to work the next day, and slowly but surely I got better at what I was doing. I was more alert, and like she was actually a trained cook. Like she had gone to culinary school, and when I told her that I was a little more interested in cooking and not so much her, she kind of took it upon herself to be like, okay, I'll show you a few things. And for me, like that light bulb moment was, and it was so stupid simple. Like when I tell other like cooks and chefs this, like they really appreciate this. It was just like she just cooked on some onions and deglazed with Porto. And I just ate them and they were awesome. They were just like really sweet and sticky. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. This cooking thing is really cool. And like that was the light bulb moment for me. And after that, like I couldn't get like I just bought every cookbook I could get my hands on. He actually gave me her copy of Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain. And after reading it, I bought his cookbook was the first cookbook I bought, the Les Al cookbook. And then that was it. I was down the rabbit hole. I went to like 5 different schools, got 5 different diplomas, but the whole time I was doing it, I was working in kitchens. But it never really like occurred to me to be like, you know what, this is what you really like. This is the one thing that doesn't stress you out. Maybe you should do this. Like you should do this for a living. And my then girlfriend, now my wife, was like, well, why don't you just go to culinary school? Just get the paperwork and just get it done. I'm like, you know what, I could get a job in the kitchen anyways without all that, but I wasn't really trained like properly. Everything I'd done was really just like I'll watch a tutorial or just read in a cookbook, or I'll just learn on the job. I really wanted that professional training, so I think a year or two before we were engaged, I dropped everything and went to culinary school, and that was like the hardest. That was the hardest like year of my life. Yeah, it was a big decision because like I was oh my god, how old was I? I think I was 28 or 29, and I was just got engaged, went back to school. I was renovating our home, like well, renovating. I was demolishing. I'm not Tim the Tool Man over here. There's no illusions about that. I was demolishing every other weekend when I wasn't working or going to school, and at the end of it all, I mean, I was done. I had my papers, and that was it.
What were you studying?
Oh my God, you're gonna laugh when I tell you. I went to college. I got my. Oh my God, let me think about this. First one was for early childhood education. Yeah. Then I got into stage and screenwriting. Then it was graphic design, industrial drafting, and this is the last one was culinary.
Okay.
Yeah. And all my jobs in between that were in kitchens.
Was there pressure from the family, or they were open to you figuring it out?
My dad was always really supportive about. Not to say my mother wasn't, but my dad was really like, I don't. I got a phone call after this goes online. No, my my dad was always really cool about whatever I did like scholastically. He's like, listen, as long as you're going to school, that's fine. If you're not going to go to school, go to work, but just figure it out. And no matter what I did, he was always behind it. He's like, oh, you like that? Go do it. I was like, okay, cool. Most fun times I ever had in my life. Yeah, I was a little savage, I'd say, and like I hope the school, if they see this, they don't take it like in a bad way, because I had really all my chef instructors there were like really Chef Dominic, Chef Massimo, Chef Adam, Chef Mo. I love you guys. They were honestly the best. Like they were really cool. But I remember like the first part of the semester, well, the first part of the program was the cold kitchen. So basically, you walk in and it was just learning like basic techniques. So there was actually before you even got into the kitchen, you're in the classroom and it's just food safety. It's the army. You're basically it's the brigade. You know what I mean? Like there's your chef, your sous chef, and all that jazz. Like you have to know the pecking order of the kitchen. And when I was there, I was like, oh my god, this seems like really a little too serious for what we're doing. And then you,
Chill.
yeah, so yeah, exactly. Yeah, come on. Yeah, like naturally, I take everything like okay, whatever. But we got into the cold kitchen. You kind of see like who's cut out for what. Not like in a snobbish way, but like like who's there because they're just there to waste time because they don't know what they're doing. Who's there to take it seriously, and like who are the in betweeners? And we learned every technique that we could. It was drilled into us, like doing tournays, which you don't see anymore. Learning the sauces, the names of the sauces, the mother sauces, and all that jazz. Baking. I hate baking. It's so exact. It's chemistry.
Right.
Like when you're like cooking a meal or whatever, you could like okay, salt and pepper to taste. It varies. You're baking. It's like no, it's this, is this, is this. So like one week your team was doing bread, the next week you were on hot station. The other week you're doing soups, starters, whatever it was.
Very
So
diverse.
yeah, very diverse. And then you go do your stage, and then you're out in the world.
Where did you do your stage?
I got lucky actually, because I'm a bit of a bonehead. One of our first assignments was find two chefs in the city to interview. So I'm like, I love Pete Cochon. Let me like message see if I can get a hold of Martin Picard. Never happened. But someone called me back and said, "So you want to do a stage?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And I did, I think, a couple weeks at Au Pied de Cochon. But like the schedule was just really like at the time, like I said, like school, work, renovating. It was a lot. So like after 3 weeks, I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Okay.
So I just focused more on school. Yeah, so I liked some of it there. I got to work at Graziella's downtown too for a little bit. Actually, that's one of the jobs where I didn't get you like indirectly in trouble with the chef because like it was my mistake. I had to like bring something to the kitchen and I kind of walked through the dining room like a total schmuck, and I could hear the chef telling someone else to tell me, make sure he never does that again. I was like, oh god, yeah.
Sorry.
So my mom is from Chicago, and I call my buddies. My buddy now is my friend. He has been for like 9 years. Mike is a big Chicago Bears fan. We also love Chicago hot dogs and Chicago beef sandwiches and whatnot. So we kind of like, we're kindred spirits in that sense. And we started talking, and he's like, I'm the manager at a restaurant called Amerigo, blah, 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 blah. He goes, if ever you want to come by sometime, let me know. I'm like, okay. And in my head, I already had an idea of what kind of restaurant I would like to open. I'm like, Italian, small, not that many seats, cozy, like, frames everywhere. And then for Valentine's Day weekend, I called them up that year, and I came here for the first time, and I walked in. I'm like, oh, crap, it's what I wanted to do.
Oh.
Yeah, but like as much as I was like, I'm like,
idea.
yeah, I'm like, my idea. But at the same time, it's like, oh, at least it's got to see that my idea worked. So like I
Yeah.
wasn't crazy,
There you go.
So that was it. And he's like, listen, if ever there's an opening in the kitchen, can I let you know? I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool. So fast forward again a few months, my bachelor party weekend, I was in Mont Tremblant. I was, I was,
In a great
I was, yeah, I was in a great mental state. I was a little tipsy. And he called me. I was like, hello? He's like, hey, it's Mike from Amerigo. I'm like, hey, Mike, how you doing? He goes, listen, we have an opening in the kitchen. Would you want to try out? I'm like, yeah, sure. And a week later, I came in on a Friday night. I did a shift. And I'm like, oh, this is what I really want to do,
There you go.
So,
It worked.
yeah, it ended up working out. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. I've been here 8 years. Last September that just passed. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.